Discover the best-kept secrets from the leading entrepreneurs across the globe. Learn from the greatest minds in business with the MyCoda podcast. Here's your host, Sam Payne.
Hello and welcome to the MyCoda podcast. My name is Sam Payne and it is a pleasure to be bringing you today's session, guys, because this is a bonus session this week as we are helping out an old friend of the show, Nathan Chan, promote his new book, Foundr version 1.0. Now, this is the one-of-a-kind coffee table book for entrepreneurs. What makes this a one-of-a-kind book, guys? Well, Nathan doesn't just interview anybody in Foundr, okay? He interviews them on his podcast and he also interviews them to feature for articles in his magazine. And he has been rubbing shoulders with the likes of the greatest and biggest minds when it comes to how to set up and run a business. We're talking people like Sir Richard Branson, Arianna Huffington, Damon John, and many, many more. I mean, on top of that, let's go into this, guys. You've got Gary Vaynerchuk, okay, Tim Ferriss, huge, huge names, Barbara Corcoran. These guys are they are just the pinnacle of entrepreneurs. These are the guys that know exactly how to play in the big leagues. And Nathan has interviewed these people. And in these books, he is breaking down, I think he said there's 52 entrepreneurs cases he's got there. And he breaks down step by step how these guys would advise you to go through the setup, the launch, gaining traction, marketing. Absolutely everything that comes into running your business, this book covers it. So when we spoke to Nathan, I spoke to him about this book and he said, look, I'm launching it on a Kickstarter campaign. And I was like, dude, I'd love to get you on the show. We can talk about the book, promote the book, and we can really try and help you gain some traction here because, guys, I think this book is one of the best resources I've seen come out for a while. And one thing that's key about this book is how it's a physical coffee table book. This is a book you'll be proud to have sitting there, guys. The quality and the workmanship that's gone into putting this together, it's not like any other entrepreneurial book. If you're familiar with Foundr products, guys, you'll know their branding is second to none. It is awesome. I love the Foundr branding. Like when I was speaking to Nathan, they even said on the cover alone, they went and spent extra just on the cover. So it's got a nice hard cover. When you open it, it's got circles, clean circles cut out the cover with the entrepreneur's faces behind. So when you open the cover, the entrepreneur's faces are sitting on the first page with the circles in the cover, leaving them behind. Tiny little details that really make this such a lovely book. And not only, I'm talking about it like it's a lovely book. Yeah, absolutely. But guys, the content in this is unreal. Nathan was kind enough to let me have a sneak peek at this. And I'm telling you, the stuff that's in there is phenomenal. It's something that I generally do. If someone hands me a freebie, I'll have a quick look at it because I like to check this stuff out. But honestly, guys, I sat there and I read the lot. It is an incredible resource. And Nathan's going to be launching this on his Kickstarter campaign, which is already live now, guys. Okay, it went live on Monday, the 15th of November. The link to that campaign is in the show notes below. Okay, so please check that out. If you're listening on your podcast, guys, then the link is foundrmag.com. Foundr being Foundr, mag.com/book preview. Okay, foundrmag.com/book preview. Now, if you're not sure whether you want to pledge on this, guys, you can receive your first 2 chapters of this book for free. Okay, so Nathan is giving you a massive opportunity here to really get into this book and see if it's going to benefit you. I guarantee it will. And then from there, guys, you can go check out Nathan's Kickstarter campaign where he's selling the books at a ridiculously discounted price. Okay, I think the RRP of this book is going to be about $80 to $90. I think that's what Nathan said. And you're going to be able to get this book for around $40, okay, which is just incredible value. So I'm going to stop talking here, guys, because Nathan and I talk about this book, the value he brings in this book, and just really how it can truly help you in setting up and running your own businesses. So here we go, guys. Here's a bonus session of the MyCoda podcast with Nathan Chan of Foundr. What's up, everybody? Sam Payne here, and welcome to the MyCoda podcast. Now, today's guest is an old friend of the show, Nathan Chan. Nathan is the founder, publisher, and editor of Foundr, a digital entrepreneurial magazine with a podcast, online training platforms, membership site, and an upcoming book, Foundr version 1.0. Nathan, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks, Sam. How are you doing?
Yeah, brilliant, mate. It's really good to have you back on the show. I mean, what's been going on since we last spoke?
Oh, geez, a lot. Yeah, since we last spoke, just got a lot going on. Trying to keep many plates spinning. Learning a lot about leadership and growth and scale, planning. Oh, dude, so much. Launching many new products as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that we spoke, it must have been about 4 or 5 months ago since we last spoke, and even in that short period of time, you've got so much more going on. I mean, I don't know how you guys do it at Foundr, really. I mean, has your team grown that much since we last spoke?
No, it hasn't.
We've just got busy.
We're just really pushing it hard. I think, sometimes when you feel, it's something I've learned as a person, I think when you feel overwhelmed and you've got a lot on your plate, that's when you actually grow and expand, right? So if you think of like think about how much like Richard Branson has on his plate, man, compared to us.
Yeah.
How's he managed that, So he's managed it because over like 30 years of just relentlessly pushing himself, he can take on, running, a multi-billion-dollar company, right? And with thousands, tens of thousands of staff, and like obviously he's got leadership there, but I think the more and more you take on, the more and more you learn and to have that capacity, and it just grows. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So yeah, we do have a reasonably small team, but we are looking to hire people at the moment, but I'm in no rush. I have been looking to hire a few people for the past couple of months, but in no rush. And you gotta get the right people on the bus, especially in the early days, I think.
It's interesting you said about Richard Branson, because I just watched an interview of Tony Robbins, and he was talking about his struggles, and he mentioned that he's got like 17 companies worth over $5 billion, and in one company, one of his partners just left the company 250 million in debt, and another company he was another 100 million in, which he had to bring in there, and he said at one point he was looking for over like $350 million to get back into his companies. You think these are ridiculous problems to have.
Yeah. Like yeah, our problems are really our third world problems, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, we're not really going to go into Nathan's story, guys, on how Foundr was created and Nathan's entrepreneurial journey so far, because we covered that in session 009. So if you want to check that out, that will be in the show notes below. But Nathan, just for the guys that may be new to the show or not familiar with who you are, could you just give us a quick intro as to who you are and what you've got going on?
Yeah, sure thing. So I'm the CEO of a digital media company called Foundr Magazine. I started it from my bedroom 3.5 years ago with about $2,000. We're now a multi-million-dollar company. We have over 1 million people consuming our content every single month across social, our website, and also our magazine and our podcast. And essentially, the business was created and birthed because I felt that there wasn't really an entrepreneurial brand in the space that spoke to or really helped aspiring and novice stage entrepreneurs. And from that, I birthed the magazine. And as time has gone on, we've become, I guess, an ecosystem or a platform where we just try and provide the best possible content out there just to help people. 99% of our content is free. We do have some premium products and courses and bits and pieces, but for the most part, pretty much all of our stuff out there, we put our best stuff, some of our best stuff out there for free, and then, have our premium stuff, try and make it even better. And yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell, man. And just before I started the magazine, I was working in an IT job, IT support at a travel company. Really didn't like it. Wasn't for me. And I was just so sick and tired of doing work that didn't inspire me, that I wasn't passionate about. And and I was lucky enough to just kind of find this work that I'm doing now, and this is what I was born to do, man.
That's awesome, man. And I love your story as well. And do you know, one thing we didn't cover in the last interview, Nathan, which I was gutted I didn't ask you about, was how Foundr is Foundr with just an R in it, how the name come about. Can you tell us more about
yeah,
that?
Sure thing. Yeah, sure thing. So, bro, we were sued for trademark infringement when I first started the magazine. And what happened was I called it something else in the early days. And we were sued by one of the biggest business magazines in the States for trademark infringement because you used
God.
their word. And, man, I had no money to my name. I was dead broke. I started the magazine on my credit card. So, dude, we just changed the name and worked through it. Didn't have to pay any money. It was a really good result in the end. And the reason I called it Foundr, there's actually no brand out there with Foundr with the E. There is someone that owns a trademark. There is someone that owns Foundr.com with the correct spelling, but they're kind of like an Asian company or something. It's really weird. But long story short, there was no one with the brand just Foundr with correct spelling. So I said, I never want to get myself into this trouble again. I'm just going to remove the E, make it cool, make it tech, make it a little bit hip, and, got the trademark straight away, and actually recently only acquired the Foundr.com domain. So it's not Foundr. We haven't migrated it, but if you go to Foundr.com now, it'll redirect to foundrmag.com. So soon we'll be able to migrate everything, so it'll be all Foundr.com, Foundr.com, and that was an interesting exercise in on itself.
Yeah, well, I love that story, to be honest with you, because that must have been such a kick, like when you were just kicking off and starting, and like you say, done it on a credit card, and then all of a sudden you're hit with this big lawsuit hitting you for using a name. It must have been quite a blow in the early days.
Oh, dude, it was one of the most traumatic experiences of my life, man.
Yeah.
It was just such a terrible feeling that I wouldn't wish upon anyone. But you know what? It was the biggest blessing in disguise ever, man, because the name that we previously had was terrible compared to, I think Foundr's much better name.
Yeah.
And, we had just locked down an interview with Richard Branson at that time. So, yeah, pretty intense, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it worked, like I say, it worked out for the best because Foundr's such a well-known brand now. It's everyone knows it, and they know it without the E in it as well, which is more important, So we're here today to talk about your upcoming book, though, Foundr version 1.0. I mean, firstly, can you just tell us more about the book and what we can expect from it?
Yeah. So I think we couldn't have created this book if it wasn't until now. So this was like something that is a culmination of our best work in the past 3.5 years. We've been lucky enough to interview some of the greatest entrepreneurs of our generation, like Seth Godin, Tony Robbins, Tim Ferriss, Richard Branson, Ariana Huffington, Barbara Corcoran. List goes on, and feature them in the magazine and also the podcast. And we're a digital business, and I thought a few things. One, that we should, we have thousands and upon thousands of hours worth of content that we've put out there. I think we should compile that into a best of book that we have thus far. And I thought we'd go a step further and do and print it, but not just print it, any old book with just plain text, like a beautifully designed coffee table book that not only will, from page to page, you'll be, just so excited and thrilled, and just be such an amazing experience to look through and trawl through. But the content would actually be so actionable that you could actually learn from it. And it would actually be a book that you would actually read, not a coffee table book that you would just sit there and not read. And, we have the experience within the team to produce, really high quality magazines, so it wasn't much of a stretch to do the same for a book. But we thought we'd even go a step further and involve the community to bring this project to life, because I think there's something really special about doing crowdfunding or using Kickstarter or Indiegogo to bring a product to life. And this product will only exist now if people get behind it. We probably won't print it unless people show us that they want it. So, we've got a minimum print run of 3,000 that we need to fulfill, and we need to raise 50,000 Australian dollars. And that's kind of how we're launching it. So this book will be the best of, and it's going to have timeless insights. That's really, really key. Timeless insights from the greatest entrepreneurs, some of the greatest entrepreneurs of our generation. And we've broken it down into idea validation. Any single element of running a startup or a business, we've broken it down and we've distilled the best pieces of advice that we've pulled from hundreds upon hundreds and thousands upon thousands of hours worth of content, all into this beautifully designed coffee table book. So like idea validation, team building, hiring, scaling, you name it, any single topic. We've got pieces of advice, and I'm really, really pumped about this project.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the first couple of chapters now, and like with everything you do, it just looks incredible. It's beautiful to look at. It really is nice, and I think there's something about. I've got hundreds of books, and there's something about books that have been made really well with really little things like thick quality pages. It's nice to turn the page, and there's something about having that. And I think you do take care of books that are presented this way so much more than you would if it's like a normal paperback book. So when you was putting this together, the content is, you could have just put this content together and it would have been just as good, because the content, from what I've looked at so far, is incredible. So what is it that's about the design and the feel of this book that's so important to you guys? Why is that so important to you, Nathan?
Well, I think branding is everything, man. And, it can be a USP, a unique selling proposition in of itself. And the thing that, from feedback from our audience, the thing that keeps coming back is the design, is the branding. And you look at the best startups, like the Airbnbs, the Dropboxes, even the Ubers. Their branding and design is on point, man. Yeah. So for us, to not to say that we're the next Uber, we're definitely not. But for us to build a business that people take seriously, to produce content that people take seriously, to build a brand that people take seriously, because that's the end goal. Like that's the goal. That's just what we live and breathe every day, Sam, is to help and serve entrepreneurs however we can, and help as many people as we can, and also to build a household name brand. Now, you're kind enough to say that we are a well-known brand, but I think we're just scratching the surface, man. I really do think we're just scratching the surface. So I think branding is key. Branding is absolutely everything. Like, I'll give you an example of how much we will go above and beyond with this book. Like to produce the book, if you can see the front cover, you can see that there's holes at the front cover, like there's circles with people's faces, right?
Yeah.
Those circles, we're actually going to cut them out. So for every single book that we produce, the circle will have to be cut out by a machine, and it's a concept called die cut. Now, so what will happen is when you open up the hardcover, when you flip the hardcover, the first page you will see will be the faces.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
And now we're just doing that not because it's going to make us more money. We're doing that because I think that just adds to the experience, man. And that's going to cost us, extra $2 to $3 to print the book extra. It's going to cost us more to when we ship it and package it together, because we don't want it to get damaged. But I believe that is worth the investment on that person's experience when they get the book and they open it for the first time. And I think another reason is, I think there's going to be something magical that takes place as well when someone receives the book and holds it in their hand. So much to the point that one day, we probably might do, limited edition print issues of the magazine, because I can't be sure, but I have an hypothesis that if someone can hold a Foundr product in their hand, they will have a stronger relationship with the brand as opposed to just holding it on their iPad, like holding the magazine on their iPad or their phone, or listening to the podcast, or just going to a web browser and reading the blog. I feel that there'll be something different, and I think I think it's going to be really special, man. So that's why design is important to us, and also the experience, because it's all about, giving people an amazing experience, but also, changing the game for that person and getting them excited. Great design gets people excited, man.
Yeah, I mean, I love the holes idea in the front cover. I think that's amazing. I've never actually seen that before in a book. To be fair, I've never seen that. So, well, I mean, the design of that, we just highlighted how incredible the design of this book actually is and how important the branding is. But let's talk about what's actually in the book now. So, how many entrepreneurs are actually featured in this?
Over 50. We say that there's 47, but I think there's a couple more. On the crowdfunding campaign, we say there's 47. I think that we might have squeezed a couple more in. But yeah, there's close to 50.
And these aren't just any entrepreneurs, are they? I mean,
no,
you've got some huge names in there.
Look, these are super successful startup founders. These are proven startup founders and entrepreneurs. These are people that have built billion-dollar businesses, multi-billion-dollar businesses, disrupted industries, created industries. They are the influencers not only in the entrepreneurship space, but influencers in so many respective industries.
And I mean, because one thing that I love about books is how people interpret them. Because if two people read the same book, they'll both take something different away from it. So I'm actually interested to know, Nathan, like, what were your biggest takeaways from writing this book and the lessons you learned from these guys?
Yeah, look, so I want to be super transparent, Sam. I didn't write this book. We have a team. We had a contractor, Kate, who I used to work with at my old job, who's just an amazing content writer. And she spent, like, at least herself alone 3 to 4 months just pulling content, getting pieces from the podcast, like compiling it. And then once Kate wrapped everything together and got all the content, because this is content from everywhere, right? This is content from everywhere. Then it's fresh content as well. It's a combination of everything. And then, we've pulled content obviously from everywhere, and then it's been heavily edited by our editor Tate, and he's done an amazing job he's just got a real knack for making things as simple and easy to understand as possible. And he's just culled any fluff in there. And then JC and then Asia, they've gone ahead and wrote all sorts of other pieces around case studies and all sorts of things, and make it even more actionable than just the pieces of advice that we have. So we give not only tips, we give not only pullable quotes, pull quotes from what these entrepreneurs have said in regards to idea validation or building a brand or marketing or social media. But then we've also got case studies, putting this stuff into action, showing a story and how that they've applied this, piece of advice that we're sharing and how much of a difference it's made. So, yeah. And then, I was lucky enough to write the intro for the book. But then, so it's a team effort, man. I make no claim to this book being the Nathan Chan book or written by Nathan Chan. It's written by Foundr, written by the team. And in fact, even when we credit every one of the people behind the book, I won't even put my name at the top, man, because I don't deserve to have my name at the top. Like, I didn't do the most work on the content of the book.
Well, I mean that's still pretty amazing, the system you've got in place there. But you've done a lot of this work initially, though, Nathan, right? You went out, you interviewed these people, you got a lot of the initial content, so I don't think you can really write yourself off completely. I think you've been a bit harsh on yourself there.
Yeah, yes and no, man. Like, I like to credit due, and look, we wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for an amazing team that put it all together. But yeah, you're right. Look, a lot of the interviews I have done, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Well, let's talk about the Kickstarter campaign. So when is this actually going live?
So it goes live November 15th, Australia time at 8:30 p.m. So we're doing a launch party. We actually have a launch party. We have 100 people coming to the launch party in Melbourne. And we're going live that night. And yeah, that's when we go live, man. It'll be open for 1 month.
Man. Really exciting.
Yeah.
So what can people expect from the campaign then? So what sort of pledges have you got in place? And it says on the on your ad on the page for the Kickstarter campaign itself that you've got exclusive rewards if you back the book and everything else. So what's in place for guys who are going to be backing this, and what pledges can they put to order the books? What can they expect from it?
Dude, I want to show you. I'm going to show you right now because I think you might like the landing page. We spent a lot of time on the landing page. Don't watch the video yet because it's not 100% finished.
Okay.
But check out the landing page. I'm just sharing it with you now. But essentially, the quicker you get on to get to supporting the book, the quicker you're going to get the best price possible. So we have a few different tiers. There's the early bird, there's the super early bird, there's the early bird, and then there's the normal price. And we can only do a certain amount of early birds and a certain amount of super early birds. So, you know, we're actually hardly making any money off producing the book by the time we produce the book. This is more than anything just a celebration, a branding exercise, and help take Foundr into the mainstream. And so we're pricing the book at the best no-brainer price that we could price it at. Our profit margins are very low and minimal, it's literally so if you jump in and get the book at the super early bird price, it's only $40 Australian, and I do know that we will be able to retail this book once, hopefully we get the campaign funded. We'll be able to sell it for anywhere between 60 to 80 US, which would be at least 90 Australian dollars. So you'll be able to save a lot of money by getting in on the early birds, and that is limited. So that's kind of the main reason that you would want to get in first.
Yeah. I mean, you've got so much going on in your pledges. Actually, you're giving a lot away, aren't you? To be fair, I'm just scrolling through now as we're talking. I mean, even the super early bird, you've got a lifetime subscription to Foundr Magazine on top of that as well. That must be worth. How much is that worth? I mean,
at least a few $100s, man.
Yeah.
So dude, like we're making this an absolute no-brainer for people to get behind because. If you get in first, you get the best rewards, man, and that's what we're all about, dude. So, we want to make this an absolute no-brainer campaign. We want to make this explode. We want to be able to spread the word of the brand and really help take it into the mainstream. So, we made this a no-brainer. Even the advertising deals, we've got a couple of sponsorship advertising deals. They're really, really, no-brainer deals.
And it looks really nice as well. Actually, the page you've got. I mean, I know we're talking about how it looks. People can't see what I'm looking at right now, but it looks really cool what you've done with it. And when it goes down, it says like these people: Richard Branson, Arianna Huffington, Damon John, Seth Godin, Tony Robbins, like Barbara Corcoran, Gary Vee. Huge names that everyone in the entrepreneur world knows about. So, I mean, even from what you've done with these guys, Nathan, I mean, how much value did these guys actually deliver? I mean, we know they're experts in their field, but how much value can people get from the advice that these are actually given in this book?
Ridiculous amounts, man, because they've done what we all want to achieve, right? And I think one of the best ways to learn is to learn from people that have been in the shoes and of where you want to be and travel the road that you want to travel. That's why people say that mentors are so extremely important. Do you have mentors, Sam?
I do, yeah. I've got two, which I visit every other week uptown. We sort of have a breakfast meeting or something like that. I've got one who's also a very close friend, and one more who's over in the States who I email maybe 2 or 3 times a month. So, yeah.
So like these guys are your mentors because you get access to them inside this book, and we push them. We push them when we interview them to give actionable stuff. So as long as you can learn from their experiences, because they have created industries, disrupted industries, how can you lose?
Absolutely. So you say the campaign goes live November 15th,
Yep, Australia time.
and that's live for 4 weeks for the guys listening in.
Yep.
Perfect. So
Live for 4 weeks.
the link to that Kickstarter campaign will be in the show notes, guys. So when you click onto this, I definitely recommend jumping over and checking out the work that Nathan and his team at Foundr have done here, because it looks. I keep saying how good it looks. I understand we're on a podcast, but you can't help but just it looks brilliant.
Man.
Yeah, you've done a great job on it.
Sorry to interrupt, dude, but we can send a link to people that want to get the access to the 2 free chapters if you like.
Yeah, that'd be great. Actually, that'd be really good. Really good. We'll chuck that in as well. So, guys, that would be in there too, and the 2 chapters, the 3 chapters as well. I mean, I've just been scouting through those while I've been on this call with Nathan, and even in those 2 chapters, Nathan, there's tons of stuff you can take away from those. So, if that's any indication from what's left in the book, I'm excited to get my hands on this one, mate. I really am.
Oh, thanks, man. I think you're gonna love it, bro.
Yeah, no, I definitely will. I'll be pledging, mate. 100%. I'll definitely be pledging. So, Nathan, before we leave you today to get back to your day, is there any last sort of parting words you want to say about the book itself, or any just general advice you want to give to the listeners of the show?
Yeah, sure thing, man. And look, thank you so much for all your help and support. I really do appreciate it, dude. We need as much help and support as we can get. So I guess my final parting words for the listeners is this book is going to be a timeless piece. We've been lucky enough, to be able to interview and speak to some of the greatest entrepreneurs of our generation. And we're not going to expect you, to troll through the thousands of hours worth of content. So that's why we've created this book and we've distilled it. And there's nothing out there that currently like this exists. And I really do hope that you will support this campaign. And, if you're an entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur, even an experienced entrepreneur, or even if you have a friend that might find value in this book, I'd love your support. And by all means, do check out the free chapters, because you can just get a bit of a taste test of what's there. But look, and for those also, wherever you are in your journey, I wish you nothing but the best success. And just know that, if you are struggling or if things might seem rough right now, I do know that, we've all been there. I've been there. We struggle all the time. It's really frustrating. The life of an entrepreneur is rough, but is one of the most rewarding experiences you'll ever experience. So I wish you all the best.
Thank you for that, Nathan. And absolutely, 100% agree with you there. So we've got the links, Nathan, for your Kickstarter campaign and for the 2 free chapters as well for the guys listening in. But if anyone listening in wants to actually get in touch with you and just ask you more about this, where's the best place they can find you and get in touch?
Oh, look, you can email me. Just email me, Nathan@foundrmag, FOUNDRMAG.com.
Perfect. Nathan, wish you the best of luck with this launch, my friend. I mean, it's an incredible product. It looks amazing, and I can't wait to get my hands on this. So just good luck with the launch, man. I hope it goes well for you.
Thank you so much, Sam. I really appreciate your support, dude. You're far too kind.
Thanks, Nathan. See you in a bit.
Ciao.
Okay, guys, and there it is. Nathan, thank you for coming on the show again today, my friend. It is a pleasure speaking to you again. And, guys, please check this book out, okay? Like we've just talked about in this interview, there is so much packed into this. It is unreal. And Nathan and his team have done such a good job of putting this together, because not only is the design good, not only is the branding good, not only is the quality of this book second to none, the most important thing you need to know and worry about is the fact that these guys have gone out and interviewed some of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world, and their advice is printed in clear black and white for you to go and take action on immediately. And by taking action on this advice, guys, you can see some real results very, very quickly in your own businesses. So I'm not going to go on any longer, guys. This one was all about Nathan, his book, and helping him just promote this, because I believe in what he's done here. I think it's a fantastic product. And if you don't believe me, guys, you've got the free option there to go through as well. So click the link. We've already discussed the link, guys. Okay, it is in the show notes below. But remember, it is foundrmag.com/book. book preview, FOUNDR mag.com/book preview. Check that out, guys. Get your free 2 chapters if you still want to jump on that. But guys, I mean, I've already pledged my orders in, okay, and I'm looking forward to receiving the hard copy of this book because it is just a fantastic resource. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. This was a bonus session of the MyCoda podcast featuring Nathan Chan from Foundr.